Something is unsettling about the idea of staying in a haunted hotel, don't you think? We've all heard the tales of creepy old mansions transformed into inns, where the walls seem to have eyes and the floors creak with an eerie presence. These hotels have a unique way of tapping into our deepest fears, leaving us to wonder what might lurk in the shadows, waiting to pounce. From unexplained noises in the dead of night to ghostly apparitions in mirrors, hotel guests have reported truly terrifying experiences that will make your skin crawl. When staying in a haunted hotel, you can't shake the feeling that you are being watched, that unseen eyes are following your every move. This sense of unease can be downright debilitating, making it impossible to get a good night's sleep. Some guests have even reported unusual odors and drafts, as though the hotel itself is trying to communicate something to them. Doors open and close on their own, and disembodied voices murmur in the darkness. It's no surprise that many of these hotels have gained a reputation for being some of the most haunted places on Earth. But what about these haunted hotels draws us in despite the chilling risks of encountering the paranormal? Is it the intoxicating thrill of the unknown? The chance to brush shoulders with spirits from another realm? Or is it something deeper? A subconscious yearning to confront our darkest fears head-on, to test the limits of our courage in the face of the supernatural. Whatever the reason, one thing is certain. Checking into a haunted hotel is an experience that lingers long after you've checked out. Take, for example, the legendary Stanley Hotel, which stands as a grand and imposing figure against the mountainous backdrop. Built in 1909 by Freeland Oscar Stanley, this historic hotel is best known as the eerie inspiration behind Stephen King's The Shining. While its elegant Georgian architecture and sweeping landscapes make for a picturesque retreat, it's the hotel's spectral residents that truly capture the imagination. Many claim that F.O. Stanley himself has never truly left. Guests and staff alike have reported seeing his apparition wandering the grand hallways, always dressed in formal early 1900s attire, as if still overseeing his beloved hotel. Some have even seen him in the billiard room, where he once spent countless hours entertaining guests. But it's not just the sight of him that unnerves visitors. His presence is sometimes felt as an unexplained chill in the air, a fleeting shadow, or even the sound of an unseen hand playing the antique piano in the ballroom. Then, there are the whispers of laughter and hurried footsteps of unseen children running through the halls, especially on the 4th floor, where young guests of the past once stayed. Some visitors have even awoken to the feeling of small hands tugging at their blankets, only to find nothing there but the silence of the night. The Stanley Hotel remains a timeless haunt, drawing thrill seekers and ghost hunters eager to experience its lingering spirits firsthand. Then there's the La Posada Hotel, a luxurious retreat in the heart of Santa Fe that is steeped in both history and sorrow. Once the grand estate of wealthy merchant Abraham Staub and his wife Julia, this 19th century mansion-turned-hotel is known as one of the most haunted places in the Southwest. Julia Staub, the former lady of the house, is said to have suffered greatly within these walls. Some say she was trapped in a loveless marriage. Others believe she died from heartbreak after losing a child. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain. Her restless spirit is still very much a part of La Posada. Guests often report an overwhelming sense of melancholy in certain areas of the hotel, as if the very walls hold on to the pain of the past. Her ghost is most frequently seen in room 256, where staff and visitors have reported eerie occurrences. A faint floral scent drifting through the air when no flowers are present, mirrors reflecting a woman in Victorian-era clothing who vanishes when approached, and the sensation of unseen fingers brushing against one's skin. The most chilling reports tell of an apparition, pale and sorrowful, wandering the hallways at night, disappearing into the very walls from which she once longed to escape. Perhaps even more unnerving is the Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, which is as breathtaking as it is chilling. Its castle-like structure, complete with turrets and grand staircases, exudes an old-world charm that masks a much darker history. Opened in 1888, the hotel has long been associated with hauntings, but none are as tragic as the tale of the Ghost Bride. According to legend, a young woman met her untimely demise on the grand staircase on what should have been the happiest day of her life. Some say her gown caught fire from a nearby candle, causing her to panic and fall to her death. Others claim she tripped on the hem of her dress in her excitement, tumbling down the steps. No matter the version, the result was the same. Her life was cut short before she could say, "I do." To this day, guests and staff report seeing a veiled woman in a flowing white dress, drifting solemnly through the corridors, or dancing alone in the empty ballroom, as if reliving the wedding that never was. Sometimes an unseen force tugs at their clothing, or a sudden icy chill fills the room. Perhaps most unsettling are the accounts of those who have seen her standing at the top of the grand staircase, only to watch her fade away into nothingness before their eyes. Despite its ghostly reputation, the Fairmont Banff Springs remains a beloved retreat, offering luxurious accommodations and breathtaking views. But for those who believe in spirits, it's more than just a hotel. It's a place where the past lingers, and the echoes of lost souls still roam the halls. But if it's pure, bone-chilling terror you seek, then the Bourbon Orleans Hotel in New Orleans may be the most unnerving destination of them all. This grand historic property, its walls steeped in centuries of history, has served many purposes over the years. Once a luxurious ballroom where high society gathered in the glow of candlelit chandeliers, it later became a convent and orphanage, sheltering those in need. But time has a way of holding on to echoes of the past, and some say the spirits of those who once lived here never truly left. Among its many spectral residents, one presence stands out, a young girl whose playful mischief carries an unsettling edge. Those who have stayed at the hotel tell of strange, inexplicable occurrences, blankets being tugged from beds in the dead of night, eerie whispers brushing against their ears as they drift off to sleep, and small ghostly hands leaving faint impressions on their pillows. Objects move of their own accord, vanishing only to reappear in the most unexpected places. The air in certain hallways grows unnaturally cold, even on the most humid Louisiana nights, as though an unseen presence lingers just beyond sight. One particularly harrowing encounter has become the stuff of local legend, a story whispered among staff and guests alike. A weary traveler, exhausted from a long journey, settled into bed, lulled by the distant sounds of jazz drifting through the New Orleans streets. Sometime in the depths of the night, they awoke to an eerie stillness, a silence so complete that even the usual creaks of the old building seemed to have vanished. An inexplicable chill prickled their skin as they became aware of an unsettling presence in the room. As they turned toward the doorway, their breath caught in their throat. There, standing motionless in the dim glow of the hallway, was a little girl. Her hair fell in dark, wispy strands around her pale face, her small frame unnaturally still. But it was her eyes, cold, dark, and devoid of any human warmth, that sent waves of terror through the traveler. She did not blink, did not move, only stared with an intensity that seemed to pierce straight through the soul. Paralyzed with fear, the guests could do nothing but clutch their blankets, hearts pounding in their chests as the girl's figure began to change. Slowly, impossibly, she faded, her delicate form dissolving into the shadows as if she had never been there at all. Yet the chill in the air remained, an invisible imprint of something long past, something that refused to let go. Shaken to their core, the guests wasted no time. As the first traces of dawn painted the sky, they gathered their belongings with trembling hands and fled the hotel without a second glance. They vowed never to return, and to this day they refuse to speak of that night, a night when they came face to face with something beyond the realm of the living. The Bourbon Orleans Hotel remains as elegant and inviting as ever, drawing visitors with its rich history and southern charm. But those who dare to stay the night should be warned. Within its gilded walls, the past lingers and some spirits refuse to rest. As the night deepens and shadows stretch across the walls, the atmosphere in these haunted hotels shifts, thick with an otherworldly presence. Every creaking floorboard, every flickering light, every whisper of wind through the corridors could be something or someone watching. If you value your peace of mind, you might do well to avoid these places, especially when darkness falls. But if curiosity calls and you dare to venture into the unknown, just remember, not all guests who check in are among the living. Thanks for joining me on this terrifying journey into the heart of haunted hotels. If you've had a spooky experience of your own, be sure to share it with us in the comments below. And if you're feeling brave, be sure to check out our other videos on haunted locations for more spine-chilling content.